Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Today, I want to share with you 14 stocks that I think they are good for your watch list. I don't say that you should buy it. I'm not recommending that you should buy any of these, but I'm suggesting that you put them on your watch list and make your own evaluation and and find the right time for you to enter and to exit if you think it's according to your analysis. Okay, and I'll give you my analysis on it, but I feel it's important for you to have your own analysis and your own perspective on that. So let's begin with Nifty, and as you see, Nifty has been, of course, sideways as usual. And if we were to look at Nifty with the eyes of the moving averages, which I don't know, how valid that is because of the entire market's moving, but let's see. It shows that the 20 and the 60 are both above the 200, and which is a good sign. And let's see what happens. Will the 20 move above the 60? Let's wait and see. So the first stock that I want to share with you is Sun Pharma, and this is one I've already entered into, and I'm looking for a small profit on this because of the high volatility that the markets were in. So as you can see, the stock price is above the 20. The 20 period moving average, 20-day moving average is above the 60, and the 60 is above the 200. And my stop is right here, but actually my stop could go higher, maybe like up to here or even up to here, and I still would be safe. I haven't changed it yet, but it's still right over here. But I could leave it up here, and I still would be safe. My losses would be less. But I'm looking to get out right here at 1,010. At that price range, I'm looking to get out. I don't know what will happen. Maybe today it might reach there. Not sure. But if I get there, I'll get out at that point, and then it still looks good. So I'll wait for a pullback and probably enter again. All right, that's what I'm doing with Sun Pharma. All right, next one is Castrol. Castrol India, same. You see the 200 on the bottom, 60 on above that, and the 20 moving average above that, and the stock price above that. But now this 20 just came above the 60 just maybe last week or so. It hasn't been very long. And so I was just watching this, and I noticed that, it moved out of, it was making this, nice move, and I entered right there. And then I'm waiting now to cross this level. I've put my target right here at 130 rupees. And once this level is crossed, I'll probably add some more funds to this. And let's see, I might still leave it at 130. And yeah, you might think, oh, that's not a whole lot. And, but still, this is a swing trade, and the markets are so volatile that I'll take a few percentages and I'll just get out, because there's a lot of these that are in a situation where it'll move a little bit for you, and I'll grab that and get out. And since this is swing trading, and the the fees and the taxes are not as high as day trading, so I could take these smaller moves, and I can still make some profit out of it. The next one is BEL, Bharat Electronics. See, the same pattern is there. The 200 below the 60, the 200, and the 60 above that, and the 20 above that. But then the stock price has been kind of playing around with it. So I'm in it already. I've already entered. And right now the price is below my entry. I'm still watching it, and I may not get out until, on the negative side, I may not get out until the 20 crosses below the 60. I'll just hold on till then. Okay. And today is a positive move, but let's see what happens. And I'm just holding on and waiting for that one. And then ITC is another one that I've taken profits several times on the different moves. In this level here, I took profits several times already, and I'm in it again. And as you can see, it's just kind of playing around right there near my entry, and that's fine because I entered right at this at this level where it just broke out, right? And it broke out of this resistance, and I entered there, and I'm trying to see if this is retracement and an upward move, and if it is going to move up, then I will add again, like I'll change this here, and I'll make this an add line right there. Once it crosses that, I'll add more funds because that seems to be a point of resistance there, or an area of resistance. Okay. And Zomato is not something that I recommend. It's just on my it's on my stuck list that I've been stuck for some time, and many of you have been kind of following along with me on this, and I'm at a huge loss, but I'm still holding on. And as you see, I use Nifty as kind of a place marker for me, or a page marker for me, because the ones above that are the stocks that I own right now: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the ones below this, the next 10. So that's 4 that I would recommend for your watch list only, not to buy, only for your watch list, not Zomato, but the others. Then these are all the few more, about 10 more that I would recommend for your watch list. All right, but you've got to. And South Indian Bank is a small cap, so you want to be very careful. It's about 13 rupees, 13, 14 rupees right now. It's made some really nice moves, a breakout after a long time of a sideways move. And but look at the moving averages. The patterns are looking good, and yeah, so just observe it carefully, and don't jump into any of these trades, but just observe carefully and see if this is something that you might want to try. Okay, here's another one, Indian Bank, that is facing resistance a little bit right over here, and so because of that, I'll just watch out right here and keep an eye on this, and maybe let's see, if it crosses that resistance, I'll maybe enter with about 10 or 20% of my of the capital that I intend to put into each stock, and then I'll see if there's a retracement and a confirmation. Then I could enter with more. So this is something that I constantly look out for. Yeah, but does it mean I'm going to enter Indian Bank? No, not necessarily. I'm just watching it. If there's an opportunity, I might enter, and if there's funds. But I don't want to be in a whole lot of trades at this level. I'm only in about 5 right now. I don't want to go too far right now because I don't have the time to watch and observe all of these. And Bank of Baroda also, look, there's a resistance right over here. I'm observing that as well. And the moving averages are looking good. Look, the 200 is down here. Above that is the 60. Above that is the 20, and the stock price above that. Okay, let's see if this resistance is crossed. If this resistance, which is not a huge resistance, but if it gets crossed, then I might think about 10 or 20%. And then I'll see if there's a retracement, and if there's a confirmation moving up, then I'll start entering with more, another 20, 30% like that. And I'll keep adding as the move continues up. I'll keep adding until I get to 100% of what I intend to put into each stock. Next one is BHEL. All right, so this one also the same pattern. Look at that, 200, the 60, and the 20. And to find these, it's not easy. You have to go through a lot of stocks to find ones that have this kind of a pattern and that are really trending in the midst of this sideways market. And you want to make sure that the trend is moving up and continuing. Okay, so it's only been recently that this pattern, this setup has come into this pattern, and so here's a resistance that has been broken. Okay, I'm back. I had there was some work going on outside, and you probably heard the beginning of the noise, and so I paused the recording. I'd waited for that. But yeah, so BHEL is another one that I'm looking at carefully, and look what happened here. All right. Uh, so there's been a breakout for BHEL, and I'm trying to see. Let me go back there. I'm trying to see if there will be a retracement, if it's going to retest and go down again or not. Let's see. Let's watch and see what happens. So this is another one that I'm interested, in entering if the move is proper. The setup looks good. Next one is Godfrey Phillips. Okay. This one also, the setup looks good to me. 200, the 60, and the 20, and the stock price above that, showing a good trend moving up. The highs are higher and higher and higher. The lows are higher and higher and higher. See that? For each day of the candle, the lows are higher and higher and higher. And the highs are going higher and higher and higher. These are different ways you can tell that the trend is up. Okay. And when would I enter? Well, again, here is another resistance that I'm seeing today. Look at this. Okay. This seems to be a point of resistance. So what I would think about doing is if it breaks out of this resistance, either today, tomorrow, this might be a place that I could enter. Okay. And then if I enter there, what am I looking at? Well, I might, set a target of about 10%. All right. Which would take me up to the all-time high. That's what I would look for. So I may end up with about 10% profit on that one. Will it make it up there? I don't know because I see the setup, but then the setup has just started. So let's see. That trend has just started, and it's been on a sideways trend for quite some time. So, is it breaking out of a long sideways trend? And it is breaking out of a long sideways trend. Does that mean that it's going to continue? I say, well, let's wait and see. That's why I enter only with about 10 or 20%. And then I put my stop loss like at the next swing low, like right over here. My stop loss would be here. See this? And I'll put a line there in case it's not clear where the stop loss would be. See that? And so this is another point of support that I find here. See that? So that's a support, and I would put my stop loss there once I enter here. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to enter, is that I'm going to buy. I may not have the funds for that. And I also may not have, I told you, I'm only entering into 4 or 5 companies at a time right now. And for those who are new, in your first 2 years of trading, I would recommend only get into, especially if your capital is below 10,000, only get into 2 companies or 3. That's all. I would not recommend going into too many. Okay, because you'll see all these opportunities, and some people, what they might do is they might say this is, they might enter into each one with 1 or 2 shares. Then what happens is you might make a profit of 10 or 20 rupees, but then your taxes are going to be even higher than that maybe, and then you end up ultimately with a loss. So you've came out profitable, but you didn't make any money, and that's what would happen. So that's why I recommend just enter into 2 or 3 companies. That's it. Especially if you're trading in the first 2 years, and also if your capital is below 10,000. Okay. So ICICI Bank, same thing here. It's crossed above the all-time high. So and the setup looks fairly decent. And as you can see, the 20 has been above the 60 for some time now. See this? It crossed above it in July of this year, and it's been like that. Now it came very close this time to going below, but then it moved right back up. So what's happening here? Is this another another resistance that we're facing? Look at this. All right. So I'm going to observe that see that as a resistance, because see right here also, after it crossed the all-time high, went up there, and it faced resistance. Now, of course, the all-time high is now different. Okay, this is the all-time high right now, but I'm not going to move it yet, but I'll move that bar up later on. But I want you to observe this. See this resistance, and it and then here it started right here, and again it's getting pushed down. You see the candle, you see the wick, so that means it's getting pushed down today itself. So I'll just wait and observe, and if it crosses above this this resistance, that might be something that I would be interested in. India Cements also here, the 20, the 60, and the 200. I'm sorry, the 20, the 60, and the 200. You see that? But the problem here is that the stock price has gone below. Now, why is this on my watch list? I'm just observing because, yeah, just for the sake of observation, and I'll keep that on my watch list as until this 20 goes below the 60, I'll keep it in my watch list and see what happens. Because see, if there's two levels of resistance here, and I want to see if those levels will be crossed. So if this level of resistance is crossed, I might think about entering right there. What's the benefit there? What's the gain I can have from that? Let's take a look. All right. If I were to enter right at that point, I would be looking at about 14% profit right there. Look at that. Okay. But that may be hard to break out of that. But yeah, I'll just leave it on my watch list and keep my eyes on it periodically. At least once a week, I might go through the entire list. All right, NTPC is another one that looks very similar to India Cements. Look at that, very similar. See, it came close to the 20 going below the 60, but then yeah, now it's looking good, and I'm waiting until well, what am I waiting for? Well, I can wait for this this resistance to be crossed, or the next possibility is to wait until this top resistance is crossed right there. See, then I could enter right there with another like 10 or 20%. That's what I would do. All right, Great Eastern Shipping is something that was looking good, and it just turned below the 20, just turned below the 60. So normally I would knock it off my watch list, but then it's so close to the all-time high that I'm kind of suspicious. I'm just keeping my eyes open. In case if it does move in the right direction, I might look for about a 10% move right there. Look at that, 9 to 10% move right there. And so I would wait for a breakout from this resistance, okay, right there, this resistance, and see if something happens. And the last one I recommend for your watch list only is Indian hotels, okay? But with Indian hotels, the thing is, you're playing with the all-time high. So where would you enter? Would it be right here at this resistance or the all-time high? Okay, that's a decision you'll have to make. Okay, this is not much of a move between this this resistance and the all-time high. So I would, for me, I would wait until the all-time high is crossed and see if there is a retracement and a confirmation. And I may only enter at the confirmation, especially since it is the all-time high. Okay. Yeah, ACC is not something that I want to get in because it's already turned out negative. I'm staying out of that. So that's about 14 stocks right there. And then one of the things that I want to point out to you, I told you in the beginning with Sun Pharma, I had put a target at 1,010. Look at that. It hit the target and it already sold, especially when I had paused this video, it had done that. It already sold. And I'm sitting at a profit of, I think, about 4,500 just on that one trade. And I'm just holding on. Well, I'm not holding on anymore. And so I've already exited that right there. So what will I do? All right. With this one, well, that was a small profit. It was only about 3.18%, small gain right there. So what I will do is just leave it on my watch list and see what happens tomorrow. If this, see, it's showing a short resistance right there, like a short-term resistance. If it gets crossed and it continues to move up, it may be something I could enter back into again because Sun Pharma is looking quite strong. Okay, so these are all different ones you can enter. And what I'm doing right now, I'm taking about 5 to 10% gain profit on each one and just getting out. 5 to 10% get out, 5 to 10% get out, because it's a sideways market and things are not going so well. So I'm just being very careful. Okay, I hope all of this is helpful to you. And of course, on all of these, remember your stop loss, needs to be in the last most recent swing low right here. See that? My stop loss is right there. And because once this level here, this level of resistance, once this is crossed, then I could move my stop loss maybe up here like that. All right. And since this is not a bull market right now, I cannot, I'm not going to keep trying to follow it all the way. Take some profit, I get out. That's basically what I'm doing right now. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. Any questions, any doubts, write that in the comments below. I'll be willing to help you out with that. And and that's about it. So this is a look at what I'm holding on to. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll move Sun Pharma down below the Nifty index, because that's that Nifty is like my bookmark between the ones that I'm holding. So I'm only holding right now 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, and so I'm going to look and see what are the areas that I want to get into. Okay. All right. You have a good day, and I hope this is helpful to you. Let me know if there are any kind of videos that you wish for me to do. If this kind of video is helpful, please make sure to press like. Maybe you can share it with people that are interested in making a profit. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.